Namaste. Welcome to March. Maddening March or a magical March? I think it's both. Maddening because we have commenced our board practicals for classes 12, and it's going to be a magical March because we have our students back on campus and I'm sure they're going to do really well. As head of school, as principal of school, I pray that all of us take care of our students who are appearing for the board practicals March 2021. I pray that all the examiners, both internal examiner and the external examiner, put in extraordinary effort to see that all the students of class 12 are mentally comfortable. First and foremost, let them feel safe, let them feel secure, let them feel confident. When all these three are present, I am sure the students of class 12 will perform extraordinarily well in the board practicals. As head of school, let us also ensure that they are physically healthy. Internal examiners and external examiners, as well as observers, it is our responsibility to ensure that all the students are comfortable, mentally comfortable. Please see to it that they don't end up with panic attacks, nervousness, palpitations. All of them are regular features that we see in class 12 students for either the board practicals or be it the theoretical exams. Please treat them humanely. They are, after all, 16-year-old and 17-year-olds. They have been confined in their homes for more than 8 months. Not just their homes, they've been inside one room for more than 8 months. So I think it is our moral responsibility to see that they pass through this phase of boards in flying colors and with a great comfort from all of us. Now, coming to the important points that students must remember when it comes to board practicals or be it the theory exams. When you enter before you enter your laboratories, please meditate for some time. Close your eyes, breathe in and breathe out. It gives enormous oxygen to the brain and calms you completely. Think about your parents. They are the most important people in your life. They've been with you through all your ups and downs, highs and lows. Think about them. And this may sound very different, but think of your most favorite food. Not that you're going to feel hungry as soon as you think about it, but when you think of your most favorite food, it really lightens you up. So before you enter your labs or before you go for Viva, the thought of good food actually gives you great confidence. And I'll tell you this, you will be able to remember all the points that are meant relevant for Viva. When it comes to your theory exams, which is going to commence in the first week of May, I think for most of us it's on the 3rd of May, ensure that you read your date sheet the previous day. Date sheets seems to be changing. We're not very sure. So to be doubly sure that tomorrow is English or tomorrow is physics or tomorrow is biology, check your date sheet the previous day or the day before. When you finish your exam today, the theory exam today, say 044 biology, go back to the date sheet and see when is your next exam. We have a lot of gaps between exams. It is giving you tremendous opportunity to prepare. So read your date sheet every time you finish one paper. So you're doubly sure that your next exam is mathematics or economics or accountancy. The second is, ensure that your admit card is always present in one single bag. Don't change your bag. When you are taking one bag for your exam to the center, don't change your bag. Keep the admit card and keep all the stationery in that bag. Don't change the bag. I'm sure that many of us are very sentimental about the bags that we use, the stationery that we use. We think that those are very lucky objects. So best is keep the admit card, that is your hall ticket, and your stationery in one bag and place it in one separate location. Don't change the location. Before you finish any chapter, take out a long size notebook and start making a note of all that you have learned in that chapter. Whether it is a 1-mark question or an objective question or a 2-mark or a short answer or a long answer, start making notes. There's one thing that I always tell all my students. When you begin writing, you actually assimilate better. All that you have learned, be it formulae or diagrams or theorems, it stays in your mind when you write. When you are orally reading them, you seem to be forgetting it and you go back to it maybe after a couple of days or after a week. When you set a timetable for your various subjects to complete before your theories start, I'm sure that we'll be starting all our revisions from April 1st. So April 1st to April 30th, we will be setting a timetable. So all that you do, you'll be starting off with your last exam, because as you come towards the end, you will try to study for your first exam. So it is fresh in your mind for May 3rd or May 4th. So whatever you've studied in the first week of April, you'll have to remember it in the month of May. And it is best remembered when you write down those points. At the same time, when you are entering your hall or before, say for instance, 1 hour before your exam, if you go through those notes, I'll tell you, it gives tremendous effect. You begin to remember as you go through those points, because those points actually tell you the way you have studied. So when you are studying any subject for your board exam, start writing. I have seen students that those who write are actually able to perform much better than those who actually orally read, those who keep walking up and down inside their rooms and read. Sit down in one place. It is a way of studying, probably because you can start by walking up and down, you read aloud, you read your theorems aloud, your laws aloud, but once you finish memorizing it or once you finish understanding it, sit down and start writing. After you have completed a chapter, jot down the important points, jot down the important formulae. It is like tips, it is like a hint. So before you enter the hall, you just have to skim through those pages. It is like a jaldi 5, a quick 5 minutes. So that's when you rush through all those pages and you're able to remember it very quickly. It also works for diagrams. Take for instance biology. Please open a book and draw, because for every answer script that you write for any subject, the way you present the answer script is the most important aspect of a board exam. All of us would have studied a lot, but how beautifully do we present it in those 3 hours? That is the key to actually scoring the marks. Start your answer script with the best answer that you remember. When you start writing the answer and when the examiner is correcting the paper, they are really impressed when they see that every sheet they start putting a tick mark. They themselves feel happy when they do that. When they begin seeing the first answer with a lot of scoring, with a lot of scratches, it actually puts them off. This is out of experience. So when you start your answer script, the first few pages, ensure that you are really confident with those questions, mark them correctly as per the question paper and start answering confidently without any scratch. Start underlining the important points when you write. Or if you're able to finish your paper quickly, go back to the first sheet and start underlining. Use only a pencil to underline. Please do not use red pens or green pens. Both those colors are not allowed in your board exam. Once you start underlining points, it becomes extremely easy for the examiner who's correcting it to just take a look at those points and he or she starts correcting and starts marking it also quickly. So these are very small aspects of writing an answer, but they create a very big impact on the person correcting it and also reflects on the kind of marks that you score. All of us pray that all of you perform extraordinarily well. Do not worry about what the pandemic has done to all of us. Let us leave the past behind. Let's think about the present. Let us be go-getters and get those marks, come what may. Ultimately, learning is going to happen. Learning will happen, come what may. And we are going to assimilate knowledge. Namaste.